Tozani bokhokho nomkhulisakala sendoda leso Gogo Bathini Mbatha Mkhuphulangwenya Village. Namhlanje sikhuluma about visions, about dreams, about ibonakaliso. Gogo angisazi fanele njani. Gogo angiphuphi at all. Gogo, I don't know what to do anymore. Angiphuphi Gogo. I don't know what to do anymore Gogo. Gogo, please help me. Guys, let's face the reality, guys. There are many things that are involved in us in making sure ukuthi siyaboniswa ebusuku, noma rather using the simple term that people know, which is siyaphupha. So abantu abaningi bathi hey Gogo amphupha ebusuku and everything, but briefly, or as much as we're going to use the term uphupha, but please allow me to rather remind you guys ukuthi there's a difference between having visions at night and dreaming. When you are dreaming, more or less it's something that has been happening throughout the day, or something that you wish for, or something that once happened, or something that you're probably thinking about. But visions is something that is totally new. It's something that your ancestors are communicating with you, or the Almighty is trying to show you this is what is going to happen. So, but in terms of for a better understanding of the majority, we're going to use the word dream, or rather uphupha. So many people are saying, Gogo, hey, I'm poopy, Gogo, I don't know what to do anymore. Gogo, please help me. Gogo, help me. I don't know what to do anymore. Guys, we did a series. We had 1 or 2 episodes whereby we talked about dreaming. That was not last year, maybe it was 2019, because this channel has been here for quite some years now. Please, while we are on it, don't forget to subscribe, to press the notification button, pardon me, so that you'll be able to get more of these videos as soon as they pop in, so that you'll be one of the first people to be notified amongst the 130,000 plus subscribers and those that have notifications about this channel. So let's get into it. Gogo, what to do? Guys, it is very important, very, very, very important for us to be careful of what do we do before we go to sleep. Gogo, what do you mean? It's very important, guys. Before we go to sleep, it is very, very, very important to ask ourselves, what activities do we engage ourselves in before we go to sleep? Let's start with things that we do before we get into bed, or before we get into our bedrooms. Food. Guys, let's talk about general food. Guys, avoid eating supper or dinner too late. Avoid it. Because while you are sleeping, or while you are trying to sleep, instead of your mind to concentrate and everything, your mind is assisting your digestive system. They're working together. Your mind is still thinking about the food you just had, whether it was good, whether it was terrible. Your mind still reading the body if everything or anything that you ate, it does go hand in hand with your body system, with your diet and everything. So your mind is busy. So you can't eat and sleep. That's one of the things that disturb your dreams, your dreaming. That's one of the things that disturbs it. Another thing that disturbs dreaming, you'll be surprised, guys, is water. Most of us, we don't know what intake or how to drink water. You know, when it's hot, we always think, the more water I drink, the better and everything. Water does disturb how you dream. Why, Gogo? Because when you drinking 2 full glasses of water, chances of your stomach to be full are high, depending on what you ate. So that might disturb you even if you find out that you got into bed, but it took time for you to fall asleep. And then by the time you fall asleep, your kidneys already sends a signal to your brain to say, we're trying to process some liquids here, and then it's time for you to go to the toilet. And then you get disturbed, and then you say, "Ish Gogo, yes, just the ish." I was pressed for number one. I was pressed for me to go to the loo. So water does disturb your sleeping patterns. So it is very important that maybe if you're going to bed and maybe there's medication that you're drinking, or maybe you are thirsty, half a glass of water is enough. Half a glass of water is enough. And even if you can have maybe just almost full glass of water, it's enough. But make sure that you start to the toilet so that you empty your bladder before you go to sleep. That is going to assist you as well. Another thing, guys, that we do when dinner, avoid avoid sweets. Avoid sweet stuff, guys. Even if you have a sweet tooth, whatever you may justify it with and everything, guys, avoid sweets. Avoid sweets. Avoid a dessert that have lots of sugar. Many people, they sometimes I feel like eating, a biscuitinyana and everything before I go to sleep, or it's a dessert, or remember, at the restaurant, that's how they make money. You have to have a starter, you have to have a main course, you have to have a dessert. But under normal circumstances, you don't really need a dessert, especially on dinner. Dessert, maybe you can have it during lunch. You still have to go back to work and everything. It will give you energy and everything. But you don't need a lot of sugar just before you go to bed, because it makes your mind to work overtime. So it gives you energy. You get into bed very energized, and that is not to assist you to have good dreams or to have a perfect vision. It's going to take you time before you fall asleep, and as soon as you fell asleep, and then you're going to have a very short time sleeping, because now you have to go to the toilet and everything is going to disturb you. Gogo, what then do I drink before I go to sleep? Rather, Gogo, what then do I do in making sure that if I go to sleep, I don't get disturbed, I don't have any issues, and I just fall asleep and allow my ancestors to talk to me? One of the things that you need to avoid when going to sleep, at least an hour before you say to yourself, before you send a signal to your brain to say, now I'm sleeping. Not just to take away the cell phone, guys. Cut the communication an hour before you take a decision. An hour before you take a decision. If you know what your phone is busy, you've got many people phoning you late and everything, prepare your good sleep. Prepare weeks before you tell yourself that, for example, Gogo, my New Year's resolution, I want to have dreams, I want to know what's happening in my life and everything. Start telling people now, guys, don't call me after a certain time. It's not everybody that will call you after certain hours. Maybe your family members, maybe your friends, or your girlfriend, your boyfriend and everything, just a request to say, I have a problem with my sleeping patterns, please don't call me after this particular time. and then you make sure an hour before that time that you sleep, you put your phone aside. Not just putting your phone aside, but you cut your communication. What communication, Gogo, are you referring to? I'm talking to about your calls, I'm talking about your WhatsApp, I'm talking about your emails, I'm talking about your Facebook, your entire social media. You cut it off an hour or more before you go to sleep. This alone is going to help your brain in so many ways, because one, on WhatsApp, your brain is activated along the people that you know. Ubani wenzani, ubani uthini, ubani kuleya group leyana sokwenzakale lokho in social media. Oh, usibani bani ushonile, usibani bani this what happening. There's news, the president is speaking and everything. All of that, when it gets your brain, it makes your brain to work overtime. Kanti if you leave the cell phone an hour or more before, you allowing yourself to get into bed, to connect with your soul, to shut down anything that has been happening during the day, so that you don't have dreams, but rather you have visions. Or because already you have processed and you have shut down of the things that has been happening throughout the day. Gogo, what can I drink except, what can I drink or what can I take except sleeping tablets? Guys, sleeping tablets are addictive and are dangerous, because your brain will end up depending on sleeping tablets. So your brain won't sleep. Your brain is waiting for that pill. It's waiting for that thing, that whatever that you use to go to sleep. So one of other things that you mustn't take is sleeping tablets. Avoid anything that has to do with drugs or alcohol. So whether you are addictive to some certain drugs and everything, deal with issues of drugs alone. I think let's not mix the issues here. But when you, maybe most of the time before you go to sleep, you prefer to have that glass of wine, that glass of whiskey, that one beer and everything. One beer is equivalent to 2 glasses of water, so it's going to disturb you. Definitely it's going to disturb you. So make sure that you avoid it. Make sure that you avoid alcohol, you avoid water, as I've said earlier. I mean, too much water, as I've said earlier. Back to alcohol, it's going to disturb you, because you're going to sleep for a certain period of time while your brain it has alcohol. As soon as that alcohol it's finished on your brain, and then you're going to wake up. I can't sleep well and everything. It's because what you took. Simple. Is that alcohol that you took. That's another thing that disturbs you. So avoid alcohol, avoid sleeping tablets, avoid anything that has to do with drugs before you go to sleep, or anything that is going to drag you before you go to sleep, so that by the time you sleep, it's 100% you and only you. Because even your ancestors, even the good dreams, they come to you when you are sober-minded. Visions come to you when you're sober-minded. That's why you find people saying, Gogo, I forget what I dreamt of. Gogo, nyakhohlwa. Gogo, I had a dream of my granny. I had a dream of my grandfather, but I forgot, Gogo. Gogo, what makes that? Avoid these things that I'm talking about, so that we know for sure if ever now we are dealing with a problem or with an issue of alcohol or an issue of drugs, or we're dealing with a problem of having to sleep well. Gogo, what then can at least take? Gogo, you said I mustn't drink a lot of water. You've spoken about sweets. You've spoken about alcohol. Gogo, what do I do? We're going back to the drawing board, guys. We have spoken about this before. We are going to talk about it again. Guys, this is going to make a difference in your sleeping patterns. Milk. Pure milk. Whether it's a low fat, whether it's a full cream, whether it's cold, whether it's warm, it depends on you. Gogo, mina, I prefer my milk Warm, I prefer my milk cold. Before we get into issues that, Gogo, milk makes me to have a running tummy. Gogo, I don't drink milk at all. I'm allergic to milk. Before we get into that, let's talk about benefits of milk. Milk helps you, or rather helps your brain to relax, helps your brain to stop overworking. It lowers the speed of your brain. So even if you took maybe one biscuit by mistake, you just felt like it and everything, or you just had that one sweet at the restaurant after eating and everything, milk is going to assist to bring down those sugar levels that are running into your brain, and it's going to help you to sleep better. Milk works even better than a sleeping tablet, but it is not a drug like a sleeping tablet. So the same benefits that you may feel like getting, or rather that you are getting from a sleeping tablet, it's here. Milk is a natural sleeping liquid that you can take, that helps your brain to sleep, at the same time to be awake in terms of receiving visions, receiving ibonagaliso, receiving dreams, in the term that you'll better understand when we use the term dreams. So another question will be this one that we spoke about earlier. Yo, Gogo, please assist. Gogo, assist. Gogo, I don't drink milk. Gogo, I don't drink milk at all. Gogo, I'm allergic to milk, or I'm allergic to dairy. Anything that has to do with dairy, Gogo, I don't take it. Then I'll advise you, spend more time in bed. What then will help you is spend more time in bed. So instead of going to bed an hour before, you go to bed 2 hours before, because you have to automatically slower your brain. How to do that, Gogo? Then you need lots of water. How much lot of water, Gogo, are you referring to? At least 3 glasses of water, not at the same time. You can have one, you chill a little bit, you have another one, and then maybe an hour later you can have another one. And then the reason I'm saying you need to spend more time before your brain can be conditioned with now so that you can be able to go to the loo at least twice before you fall asleep. Simple. So if there's anyone who can give us an advice for those who are allergic to dairy, to those who are allergic to milk, to be specific, please go to inbox, call me, call the office, I'll call you back, give us advice. We need advice for as much as we can, because in this channel we educate each other. Lastly, Gogo, I've tried it all. Gogo, I've tried it all. I've tried it all, Gogo. Gogo, it's not working. Then you need help. You need something to help you. Maybe maybe there's an issue of the third hand there. Maybe there's an issue of depression or stress. Maybe there's an issue of many things that are happening. Maybe the environment that you're staying in is not conducive enough. Maybe there's a lot of noise. Maybe your child is not sleeping enough so that your child then disturbs you and everything. Then we need to assist each other in looking at what then could be the problem beyond what we've just spoken about, the cell phone, the alcohol, milk and everything. Then you need maybe first stop, consult with your GP. Don't go to the specialist from the onset. Consult with a specialist. Consult with your GP. Your GP will give you correct channels to go to. So your GP is the one that will be able to assess, to say, okay, you seem to have a problem in this. go and see this specialist or that specialist. After that, doctors don't see what is wrong with you and everything. Consult with somebody who's going to check what is happening in your life. That is a traditional GP. So a traditional GP will then refer you to a specialist. You have a problem with depression, maybe it's a problem with your ancestors, maybe it's a problem with the fact that you have a calling, maybe it's a problem with the fact that there's muti that has been used to you, or so many things could play a role in you having a problem. So before you go to a specific traditional healer to say, hey, I want to go to Sbanbani, I've heard that they specialize in this, get a general perspective, a general knowledge, or rather a general information in terms of what could be the problem before you jump into a specialist, because a specialist they cost more. Even if you just go to admit yourself in a depression hospital, you're going to pay more instead of if you could have went to a GP, things like that. Make sure that you do a research as much as possible. Guys, thank you so much for watching our channel. Thank you so much for keeping in touch with us. Thank you so much for supporting us every Friday when we have a live stream on Instagram. Please don't forget to follow us on Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all your social media networks. Let's stay in touch. Let's make sure that we are safe. You've heard about the other levels of COVID-19, what is happening. The borders are closing now. Many countries, they're stopping us from traveling. I was supposed to travel from as back as January. I've been having problems. Had to go to Nigeria. I had problems. I don't know what to do anymore. But for as long as there's the communications between us, let's make sure that we keep all the channels of communication. If you have something that you're not comfortable with, you don't understand, you want to find out, please, let's do each other a favor. Please make a booking. Please come see me. Let's sit down. Let's talk. Let's find a plan B. Let's find plan C. Let's find a solution in whatever problem that we may be facing. Sarwa senda tuma vlog for lemzana matwa. U anti usha. Chakozana.